Rocking and rolling today. So we got a really cool episode. We're going to be talking about the world of gaming, what the world of gaming really looks like through the eyes of Doug and Marc. Everybody, welcome Marc in.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We got a great podcast to talk about today with video games, pros, cons, our life in video games. For a lot of people that don't know, me and Doug are definitely not as strong as gamers as we once used to be, but still do some gaming. We'll talk about our life, what we did.
Ooh,
and
let's talk about
gaming.
baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that could be. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I like that. That's good. And maybe some exciting games coming up that we're actually pretty excited for. So
I'm ready for that.
Right? Anthem. I've been looking into it a little bit more. I'm kind of excited. I think BioWare actually has their hand in it, so that's actually pretty exciting.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think BioWare and EA, I'm not sure if they're joint company or like BioWare might be a separate company, like an offshoot of EA. I'm not sure, but when I saw that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Oh, excuse me, a little bit more for Anthem. So
that's pretty cool. Did you actually hear about Apple thinking about buying Activision or Activision?
I wouldn't really be surprised because Activision, I believe they jumped off of Blizzard, did they? Or something went down with Activision, that they're not doing well or something. I don't know. I remember seeing something about it.
True. Well, I think it would be a good acquisition. And I'm pretty sure these larger corporations really want to get into gaming, because gaming is really the dynamics of gaming is really changing the industry. You cannot believe how much revenue from individuals are going into gaming, especially mobile gaming. It's outrageous.
Definitely. And the technology and the style of gaming has definitely changed since we were kids. I mean, I was playing earlier one of my favorite games ever on my phone. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's called Max Payne. Have you ever heard of Max Payne?
Dude, I've heard of it, never played it. I remember Snake on the Nokias. Remember those Nokia phones where you're like, oh my God, I'm playing Snake. And like it's the line that goes around.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
But it's crazy. I used to play Max Payne on my PlayStation. So that's how far back that was. Maybe PlayStation 2. But now I can play it on my phone.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah. You can also, I was playing GTA Vice City on my phone the other day. Seriously.
That's pretty epic.
Crazy. Those are games that we grew up with on consoles, and like now they're on your phone. It's insane.
No, you're right, dude. Listen, we were playing Blitz. Remember Blitz for the Super Nintendo, or was it 64? Oh, it was Blitz 64. Yo, it was just like you were able to dive across the field, at least by 15 yards. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Game was awesome. I remember actually when I was in Florida, seeing Steve and my brother, they had a Blitz arcade game. And we were playing that, and that was crazy. Yeah, one of the bars that we were at, and that was a lot of fun. That brought back a lot of memories. So
that is a good time. Was that for your bachelor party?
It was.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we want to give you guys a perspective of a gamer, right? And we're going to give you a true gamer, like not just like a person that randomly jumps on and off of gaming. So let me give you an example of the world of gaming through Doug's eyes first. Marc, are you okay with me going?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So for years, and Marc can contest to this because he has asked me in that time frame to go out and hang out with him. And my responses were always, no, I'm gaming. And let me explain why I would always say no. Well, because when you're in the world of gaming, it's an inclusive environment that almost manipulates you to believe it's real life. You still understand that it's not real life, but the way that things get handled in the game makes you feel like it's real life. You can buy pieces of clothing. You have to buy food. You have to buy water. You have to buy uh, not
Tell them,
mobility, like an automobile. Like
tell tell them
what's that?
what game you were really into first, though, so
World of
they know what
Warcraft.
you're talking about. World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. Little Jay-Z status right here. Little brush off the shoulder. Um, but really, that's what it's like. It's like living a real life in a video game. And also, you play with real people. So just like we communicate, we interact together, we did the exact same thing over a program called Ventrilo. But we would enter into dungeons and raids, and we would fight bosses and mobs. And mobs are, what does mob stand for? I can't remember.
I don't know what it stands for. I can't remember.
Anyway,
You can look it up.
yeah. So we would take like 25 people, and like 25 people would get onto Ventrilo, and we would go in and try to beat bosses. And those bosses would drop gear that we would like put over ourselves. Not like Superman. That's like opening your chest. But like basically, you put on and you pull your pants up and stuff. Hit my wall in the background. Gave it a little wave. But at the end of the day, like we would spend hours. And when I talk about hours, I'm not talking about 4 or 5 hours. I'm talking about waking up in the morning at 6 a.m. Eastern time and going to bed at 3 a.m. Eastern time the next day. And then waking up 4 or 5 hours later to keep playing. It was an addiction. And when Mark would ask me to hang out, what would I tell you, Mark?
No, I have to raid. Yeah.
It's a scary life, but it's a good life. It's fun. I don't suggest it.
It definitely has a lot of pros to it, because you're not like going out partying, all that stuff, wasting money. Well, I mean, unless you consider paying for a game every month wasting money, but
true. But it's only $15. What's $15 to a $45 night out at the bar?
Exactly. And also, there's shown a lot of studies and benefits with gaming, reaction time, stuff like that.
Social interaction with others.
Yeah. And thinking, like the ability to process things a lot faster. And
don't they talk about multitasking? It gets you, even though we can't do it as human beings, like children are getting closer to it, but it does help with multitasking.
Definitely does, especially if you think about like a game like WoW. When you're raiding, you're multitasking while you're doing stuff. You're always got to think about like everybody around you, what's going on, not trying to pull so much. What was it called?
Aggro.
Aggro. Yeah, aggro. I was what was I? I was a mage, so I forget what was that classified as?
You're a magic.
DPS.
You're a magic player.
DPS.
Oh, DPS, yes.
DPS.
Damage per second. Just so how much damage you create per second.
But you gotta make sure you don't pull the damage off of the tanks. There you go. Remember that.
True. And pull that aggro.
Yeah, you don't want that boss coming at you and smacking you and killing you, one-shotting you.
Yeah,
so.
just like, hiya, I got you.
Dude, I remember, oh man, you were more into raiding. I was more into PvP. I like and PvP is player versus player for people that don't know what gaming lingo. But I was really into that with like the arenas, and me, you, and Corey would do threes, and we have some crazy stories.
Oh my god, absolutely off the chart stories.
Yeah, so I was more into that, but we did some raid scare. I think we did more. I was more into the PvP raids for the gear. So like the PvP gear and not the, actual gear and all that stuff. But we definitely had some crazy times. I remember coming over to your apartment with you and Matt and staying up all night, landing, doing a bunch of runs and dungeons and stuff. I mean, it was good times. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun while it lasted, but
that investment of time can't be done anymore, at least at our age and our financial obligations.
No. I may play like an hour of video games a day, maybe. But I try not to so much. If I play a lot, of hours into a video game. It's more into like simulation based games, like I'm really huge into like Civilization, the game. So,
Hmm.
it's really intriguing to me to like build up that civilization and everything. And those are simulation type games. Like you can walk away from them at any time. It's not like being at a raid and like if you bounce to have a raid in one of your what were they called? Clans, you
Yeah.
were probably getting booted. So
And I want to go into a little in-depth detail on that. Just like there's a community on YouTube, just like there's communities outside of like, your house, you go to a community center, there's people there. If you do something wrong, just as you would in real life, people wouldn't accept you. They'd kick you out. They'd say, no, you're not consistent. You don't have the behaviors that are needed to play this game or do this, do your due diligence and get to the goal that we're looking to get. So when Marc talks about being in a clan, you're in a group of people that actually rely on you. And when I say rely on you, I'm talking about people legitimately expect you to play the game like it's a job, like you're being paid for it. Show up on time. Make sure you don't screw up. If you do, there's penalties to screwing up. Like it was crazy, but it was so fun. It's absolutely epic.
And I don't know if we were in the same clan. I think I was in a PvP clan and you were in a PvE clan. So I think we were in different ones.
Get my exercise in.
But WoW or World of Warcraft is really what started it off for you. And I guess that was my fault, really, right?
It was because I came over one day and you were playing World of Warcraft on your rogue, and that was your first character, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Your fault.
I actually made him into what was it called where you took a character to a certain level and got the best gear at that level before progressing on? What was that? Yeah, I don't know. He was like a level 20 something rogue, but he had like the best gear.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. He was let me think about it. Oh man, it hasn't really been that long. It has been that long.
Wow. It's been a long time.
Tweaked. No, not tweaked out. He was I don't know. I'm losing it. Man, good thing we have a really crowded chat box and we have a ton of people watching us because, what can you say? Like
there's probably nobody watching us.
Yep, we got nobody.
It's all right. It's all good.
And if we do, you guys got to say hi in the chat. You can't be shy. Marc and I are not sensitive people. We can be. Ready? I'll type in the chat. Hello.
I'm trying to figure out what it's called.
Tweaked. Was it tweaked?
I think it is called tweaked.
Like Tweety Bird? Tweaked out?
Tweak, yeah, I think it's called
Tweak.
I'm not sure. He was a level 21 or whatever rogue. He was tweaked out. He had the best gear, and that was it. You took it to the next level of everything.
Living the life of a gamer. I was a true gamer. I wouldn't shower for a week and still game on my vacations. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's the life you live. Like, you don't shower. Think about all the stories we've read about kids not wanting to get off their chair to go to the bathroom. There was a kid that died, and I'm pretty sure it was in China. A kid in China, when WoW first came out, he died because he didn't want to go to the bathroom, and his bladder exploded. Yeah.
I know somebody died staying up too long playing video games or something. I forget what that was.
Like your body just shuts down. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, if you don't sleep, you can die. So
yeah, it's off the charts.
A con of video games is maybe getting too immersed into it all, because I think a lot of people play video games to live a different life than what they live in their real life, because a lot of video games are fantasy based, like WoW, and I don't know, the ones now like Call of Duty, stuff like that. You could play as like some soldier, so you're living that kind of life. You know what I'm saying?
True. That's a good
So I
point.
think a lot of people steer towards video games trying to escape their real life.
That
So
can
that,
absolutely happen.
yeah,
I mean, let's say that, you don't do well in front of other people, but you're really expressive and interactive over a screen.
definitely. And yeah, because it's a lot easier to be social when you don't have to stare somebody in the eyes.
What do you say about bullying online? Like, what are your thoughts on online bullying and gaming?
I disagree with it, of course. I don't think it's right. But it's always kind of been there. Not that that makes it right. I remember bullying when I was playing the original Call of Duties, you know what I'm saying? I never let it get to me. I just kind of shrugged it off. It's just a game to me, but some people do take it to the next level. It definitely is not okay to bully in video games at all.
I would agree with you. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it has always been there. I don't think until the movement of bullying it really showed up in video gaming. I think, like you said, it has always been there.
Yeah. I mean, I remember playing like Call of Duty and getting yelled at by 13-year-old kids that they were gonna F my mom and stuff. And like,
Oh my
I
God.
mean, that's just, I don't know. I just kind of always laughed at that and shrugged it off. That's always kind of been there. They kill you and then say something stupid and you just move on.
I would agree. I'm glad you shrugged that off. Your mom's a
Yeah.
very sweet lady, and I hope she
Thank
never
you.
sees this stream.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's not okay. I mean, and I think nowadays with kids, because we have such a softer kind of society that I think bullying really gets to people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I grew up in kind of like that harder kind of family. My dad was kind of a hard guy. Um, so bullying in general or online never really affected me that much. So I think society has a little bit to play to it also.
Fair enough. I think that, society has changed immensely in the aspect of like, what do you consider tough? Like, what experiences do you consider? Should you be sheltered and coddled, or should you
Yeah.
experience it and then overcome it, become a stronger individual, and realize that there are going to be people in the world like that? Except I'm not an expert in that field, so it's more of an opinion than
Well,
anything.
I'm not either. And this is all opinion, our opinions on it. Um, but I think also some kids might take the bullying a little bit to heart in video games because, like I said, they're trying to maybe escape their real life and maybe they get bullied a lot in their real life.
Yeah.
So then they go online and get bullied again.
Or
It might,
they get bullied in real life and then they go on and bully people.
exactly. So it could be both ways. And that's definitely a con, of course, to
Agree.
video games is bullying. And I don't I mean, I've never really dealt with it that much other than the Call of Duty aspect because I don't play too many online games nowadays. I like my single player, like, adventure games, stuff like that, like Red Dead Redemption. I played the whole story through, everything. Played a little online, didn't really like it. I'm more story-based gaming
More
type
story based.
person. Yeah.
So what advice would you give somebody that is, let's say their kid plays a ton of video games. Like what advice would you give them? But they don't want it.
Um,
They don't want their child to play so many video games.
oh, they don't want them to play so many video
But they
games?
do. Yeah.
I would say maybe use the video games as a what would you call it? Like like for doing something good. What would you call it?
Uh,
I have a,
so that
I have
would
a,
be like,
I have a brain fart.
wow, your brain farts.
Yeah, it does sometimes. Can't you
That's
see it?
awesome.
Smoke coming out of my ears.
I was
I
just
would
curious if it smells.
No, it doesn't. I would say maybe just step into the kid's life a little bit. See if there's something maybe going on outside of video games that maybe have that kid immersed in them. I know video games are a lot different than we were. As kids, you have your Fortnites and everything else nowadays, and a lot of kids get into them. But I would say maybe step into a kid's life a little bit and use video games as like, oh, so you got all your homework done and all that and whatever, and now you can have like half an hour of video games a night or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So just like you were mentioning, kind of like give them a reward, like, hey, you did good.
A reward.
Here you go.
That's what I'm looking for. A reward, yes. I mean, I don't have kids, obviously, so I don't know what that's like. We should have my brother on here. He would know what that's like.
Dude, we should totally invite your brother down. That'd be tight. Do you think it would come on?
I don't think he would. But
I think you can have up to 10 people on here.
Can you?
Yeah. Should we try it? Should I send him an email?
I don't know if he's working or not. He works weird hours, so I'm not quite sure. So yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about?
So we were just discussing what advice we would give other parents for gaming for their kids.
So that's my advice. What would you give them, Doug?
Being such a gamer as a child, I think, like we talked about, there are a lot of benefits, but what I would say is that you should let your kids play to an extent, but control it a little bit. Get into learning, studying, but also gaming at the same time, and really manage that, because at such a young age, for children, they don't understand the benefit and the growth aspect in the long term. They're all concerned about the short term. They just want, but they're not viewing life in that span. Just like, it took me 26 years to figure that out, like to figure out that long-term outlook. So I would definitely say manage that well for your child. It's an obligation that you have to grow them as an individual.
Definitely. And also because of those benefits that gaming actually does have on you, like the multitasking, the ability to think and process things quicker. They've done studies on also hand-eye coordination is a big one with video gamers, so those things can definitely benefit kids that are growing up, but you have to control it, obviously, as a parent. You can't let your kid, sit there for hours on end playing video games and then they're not doing well in school, or they don't have like any outside activities, because those are huge. Big believer in having some sort of outdoor activity in a kid's life is a big deal.
You're absolutely right. I would agree with that. For sure you want to be able to have them experience different things, dude, because at the end of the day, you can't live your life behind a television screen or a computer screen unless if you're going to start a career on YouTube like we are.
Hey, yeah. You could do YouTube as a career or any at-home online career. Then you can live behind a screen. But I would say about 90% of the people in the world actually have to engage face-to-face with people. So,
yes. By the way, for anybody that is watching for the first time, that was sarcasm. This is not our life work.
No.
Life's work.
And you can probably tell by my little chuckle when you said it, too. So. Whoa.
Oh, Mike's falling.
My mic just fell.
Oh, pick Mike up. I haven't seen Mike in a long time.
Oh, here he is. There's Mike. So we talked about pros and cons of video games. Do you want to dabble into this article that I found? Or I was also thinking about, maybe we talk about some of the games that we really loved and enjoyed growing up, and then what we're looking into.
Let's talk about some of those games that like we loved as kids. Like give it a little retro look. So I'm gonna start that off, and I'm gonna go with Super Nintendo. Not Super Nintendo. Yes, I'm gonna start at Super Nintendo, and I'm gonna go Donkey Kong Country.
All right, yeah, Donkey Kong Country, throwing it back. I thought you were gonna go actual Nintendo with Mario. I can actually remember actual Nintendo Duck Hunt when I was younger in New Jersey, where we first lived. playing with the gun, yeah, and shooting the ducks. Oh man, that's a throwback and a half.
That is the throwback. What was that? An orange gun? I swear it was like gray and orange.
It was just like an orange pistol or something. I don't know.
Oh my god!
But as a kid, like a 5-year-old, that was like the greatest thing ever. And that stupid dog would come up, I'd shoot him.
Oh my god! Do you know what he sounded like? He sounded like this.
That was spot on.
You'd put his hand up and be like,
that is spot on right there.
And he'd pop up and down. It's absolutely fantastic.
He definitely would. That was a big throwback.
That is a big throwback. How about well, you did say Mario, but I mean, really any Mario is a throwback. Like at the end of the day, you play a Mario and you're like, awesome. Like Mario 64 is the greatest game that has ever come out. Fantastic. Excluding Zelda. So Oracle of Time or however you want to pronounce it. Some people will critique me on that. Ocarina or Oracle of Time was absolutely like off the chart status.
I was never big into Zelda. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. And
it's a tough life.
But Mario 64 was huge. I remember when the 64 came out, that was the system to have, yo. Oh,
yeah. Dude,
every kid want that for Christmas. Oh, shit.
Every kid. I mean, the games were fantastic. Nintendo's did such a great job on that console. And then after that, it fell apart. Like the Cube was shitty. I didn't like the Wii, the wireless controlling. The Switch might be the best that has ever, popped since. But even then, I'm still not digging.
Yeah, I'm not big on the Switch. Or, I mean, Nintendo in general with their games, I'm not really huge on. Always a Mario fan, but that was about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Another N64 throwback, Star Fox.
Dude, Star Fox was awesome. Yo, how about 007?
Of course. I remember playing. That was like the first shooter, like multiplayer game you played with your friends. Like,
yes, that was awesome.
GoldenEye? Like, yeah. I remember the split screen and like running around and like you're not supposed to be looking at my screen, but I'm definitely looking where you are. Like, yeah. That was crazy.
Yo, that was like the honor. That was like the honor system back then.
It was. Don't look at my screen, man.
Yo, bro, don't look at my screen. You know where I'm at. And then you had to plant. You could like plant the mines on the ground or up on the ceiling or on the on the wall, and you walk by and it just blows up.
And if you got like, what was it in that one level? It's just a hallway. And if you got stuck in that hallway, you had to like duel it out with the other person. You were pretty much screwed. So.
Oh, are you talking about the basement or being in the basement in the hallway? Oh yeah, and they had like secret doors. Like you could. I think the basement did have like a secret like doorway. I forget.
I don't know. I haven't played in so long.
I know, seriously, dude. I'm so pumped that we have a ton of people watching.
We don't.
We don't.
I don't know if we do. I can't see.
I can't. I'm guessing.
I don't know. I can look.
Should we look?
I can look on my phone.
There's like nobody in chat. Wow. Since we're so popular, we might as well take a look on our phone. Like, hey. Oh, that's terrible. So I thought I was plugged in. I wasn't plugged in.
You weren't.
Nope.
Jesus.
Oh man, it's all starting already. Oh snap! We did have somebody watching.
Oh, did we?
Hi in the chat. You can't be shy. Bullying in video games has gotten infinitely worse in the last 10 years. Like more vigorous. The goal is no longer to piss someone off. It seems to be genuinely hurt someone to the point that their night is ruined. And that was from Kix. I don't know if there was a chat. I was not in that chat to see. So
I didn't see it either.
Yeah. Oh, do you know why? Because we are in
Oh,
We're
we're
in
in
the
Google.
Google chat. We're not in the actual chat itself. So we have to pull. I'm going to pull this up. See if I can pull this up, and then mute it so I can see chat. I feel bad. I wish I would have responded to Kicks.
Yeah, me too. I feel bad that we didn't see it. Sorry that we didn't respond to. Um, um, I do agree that it has gotten a lot worse in the past 10 years. Um, yeah. I was just reading what he was saying. I do agree with you that it's more to hurt somebody than to piss somebody off, and to a point that their night is ruined. And I would agree with you about that. I'm sorry we didn't see it and we didn't reply. Apologize for that. We're still trying to figure this out. This is our second podcast, so
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think I got it. I think I'm going in
oh, you
appropriate.
got it.
Maybe.
Well, I'll just keep mine up for now because I'm on my other name, so I could see if anybody comes in.
Okay.
I got another game for you though. While we're at it, it is the first Halo. So on Xbox,
Are you watching too?
yeah. Can you see the chat on your end? I'll close out.
I can see the chat now. You and I popping up back and forth.
Okay.
I'm logged onto my end through
Yeah, I closed it.
sales.
I closed mine. So if you see anybody come in chat, let me know what they say.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel bad that we didn't respond to him.
I know. We'll have to pop on and thank him for stopping on. And since there's nobody here, I could do that really quick.
Definitely.
Yeah, you could go to their channel. So do you see in the chat box? You could go to the channel.
I closed it, but I know what you're talking about. I closed it out, but I know what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
But Halo, Xbox. Remember we would. Oh man, it's throwing me back. I think it was me, you, Rob, and Corey would play 4-way.
Oh my god, all the time
on Halo. We would go over to Corey's when he was living with his dad, sleep on his couch, and wake him up to play Halo. That was crazy.
That was crazy, dude. Sometimes he would even get up and we just play.
Yeah, he wouldn't wake up. We would just start playing.
That's fantastic. It was such good times. I'm responding back to Kix. He's actually a video game player. Like,
oh, is he?
It's cool. He's a streamer. He has, I think, about 81 people.
Nice. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, Doug. I'll be right back.
We were watching. We're done. Oh, we were watching the Google Hangout chat, which was a rookie mistake on. We agree. Yeah, for sure. Bullying's bad. It's hurtful. And it's getting worse over time. That's funny. You can hear his toilet flush. That's great.
What happened?
We can hear your toilet flush.
Oh, that's all right.
All right, I left them a comment. So
cool.
Thank them for coming, and then also
awesome that we didn't respond. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the ultimate game, and the one that if they are actually doing another one, I will buy an Xbox is Fable.
Oh yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen with that.
Dude, I loved Fable. Fable was awesome.
I would agree. Fable was fantastic. I remember when that game came out. Didn't they do a Fable 2 or something, but it didn't really work out that well?
They did 2. It was good. And then I think they did a 3, and it wasn't that good.
Mm.
Okay, let me check.
It's all right. I'm curious.
Yeah, they
Why?
did 3, and now, I mean, they're saying as of December 20th, 2018, Fable 4 is happening. So I will buy an Xbox if it happens, because I
Wait
love
a
that.
second. You would buy an Xbox just for that game?
Yeah. I mean, in the past, I bought an Xbox just for Halo. And then I got red ringed a bunch of times, and then I bought a PlayStation.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh man, that is awesome.
Any other newer games or anything that
You know, I played Destiny for a long time and I really enjoyed Destiny. It was a first person shooter. I mean, my wife can contest to that. There were a lot of times where I kept playing and she was going to bed. But Destiny was a really good game. Really enjoyed that.
I think that would probably be me with Red Dead Redemption, or when we were playing Ghost Recon, me, you, and Jack. We would play
Yo,
that.
that was really fun.
That was a good game. I like that game a lot.
It was a good.
They just came out with the weird expansions, and it kind of ruined it for me. And I don't know.
Yeah, and it was extremely repetitive.
Yeah.
You know, at first, like the killing and the jumping and like the sneaking around was really sweet, and then it kind of was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Every mission was kind of the same, so kind of got to you after a while.
I would agree.
Original Assassin's Creed would be there for me. I loved Assassin's Creed.
Oh, you totally love that game.
They're remastering the third one, which was my favorite one. I know a lot of people don't like the third one, but that one was my favorite one, so I'm looking forward to that.
Was that the one in the water?
No, that was the fourth one. That was Black Flag. The third one's was during the American Revolution.
Oh, you're all about history, though. You love that stuff.
Yeah, so you played as like I believe it was half white, half Native American boy who becomes an assassin, obviously, but I'm not sure.
What do you think of the movie Assassin's Creed?
I thought it was all right. I thought it could have definitely been a lot better.
Okay, I thought it was pretty good.
I know they want to do like their own thing with it, but I think they should have stuck to one of the storylines of the game.
Game.
I can't fault them for trying, but I think it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I think a lot of movie makers are really getting into like certain games too. Like there was the World of Warcraft game and whatnot.
Well, not World of Warcraft, just
Or Warcraft. You're right.
Which they're remastering Warcraft 3 for PC also, which is big.
Are they really?
Yep. And Warcraft 3 and all those, I don't know if you ever played them, but that was more like campaign story based. That's like your lore of your Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
That like went into like all of the World of Warcraft stuff.
Yeah, I remember watching some videos on Warcraft.
Yeah. Warcraft was the shit. I love Warcraft.
A lot of people like that.
Yeah. Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, like all those. They were, yeah. And the original World of Warcraft, I love the original. Burning Crusade was good, but after that it just got,
Oh, it got wild.
yeah. It just got too much. And I'm kind of happy hearing that they want to go back to the original World of Warcraft, because we are playing that if they do.
Oh, absolutely. I'm totally down for that.
Back to like 4 days of grinding to get like 5 levels. Like,
Yeah, and it was like it was legit. It was hard. Like it
oh
wasn't
yeah,
easy. I'm like, oh, sorry guys, that you can't get to that dungeon. We're gonna make it easier for you now. Everybody can do it. Yay! Like I want a challenge.
yeah, and that's what the first one was about, and that's why I loved it so much. And
Now, go on.
and it wasn't so popular then, I think also. Like when I first started playing World of Warcraft, it wasn't as big as it was or is. I know it's not as big now as it was, but when I started playing, it wasn't as big as it was at its peak. So
Agreed. It was not. I would say it's definitely not as big as it used to be. I think that the vanilla version is going to bring it back a little bit. But I wonder if they're going to make some readjustments. I mean, they did say that they couldn't just pop it back up because the machines, are well beyond that old tech, and it doesn't even run the old tech anymore.
yeah.
The software and the graphics.
So I think if they went back to the original and the vanilla version, they would definitely have to do a remaster. So it's gonna be. I heard next year, but I don't know about that. So
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to come up next year, but we'll see if it does. It'd be neat
we'll
if it
see.
does.
If it does, you better tell your wife there's some long nights ahead.
Yep, I might have to. Might divorce me.
Divorce you. I don't think she'll ever divorce you, bro. So I think you're good there.
Good. Oh man. So what is it? 10 o'clock. It's what is it? 9 o'clock where you're at?
8 o'clock.
Damn, it's 8 o'clock. You're a lucky man. I'm like falling asleep here.
You're falling asleep?
Yeah, you want to call it a night?
Yeah, that's fine.
Rock on, brother. All
All right,
right,
man.
well, shut this down and we'll post it up.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Thank you
everybody. Thanks
for
for popping on.
watching if you did, or if you're gonna watch, and have a good night.
Bye.
You're
Yay.
strange, Doug.
It said chirp chirp. Is there a bird in here?
No.
Good
All right, man.
All right, man. Deuces.
All right, peace out.